Okay, let's talk about something we all do, shopping. We're going to dive into the invisible forces that are totally changing how we buy things. It's all about how technology has turned a simple trip to the store into this complex dance between our phones, our laptops, and the real world. And more importantly, what that means for the future of every single brand we shop with. Let's get right into it. So, does this little journey look familiar? I mean, for a lot of us, this is just a normal Tuesday. You see an ad for some cool new gadget on social media, you hop on your laptop to read all the reviews, then you go to the actual store to see it in person, only to pull out your phone while you're standing right there to check if you can get it cheaper online. Our path to buying something isn't a straight line anymore. It's more like a web, and it connects our digital lives with our physical ones. But here's the thing. While we're all hopping so easily between our devices and the real world, a lot of businesses are really struggling to keep up. For them, our new shopping habits are creating a massive headache because they're trying to operate in this totally disconnected retail world. And this isn't just some small problem. What we're talking about is a huge gap between how we actually shop and how these companies are set up to sell to us. This disconnect? It creates some very real problems, not just for their sales numbers, but for our experience as customers too. I mean, think about it. Have you ever seen a sale price online that was totally different in the store? Or what about trying to return something you bought online at a physical shop, and they tell you, sorry, can't do that here? That kind of friction is exactly what happens when a company's website, their app, and their brick-and-mortar stores just don't talk to each other. It leads to these weird, inconsistent experiences, lost sales for them, and let's be honest, it's just super frustrating for us. So what's the solution to all this chaos? Well, it turns out there's this really powerful idea that experts and businesses are getting behind. It's called the Omni-Channel approach. And its whole purpose is to smooth out all those bumps and create one single seamless shopping world for all of us. And to really get what that means, you have to see the difference here. For years, companies were multi-channel, right? They had a store, and they had a website, and they had an app. But all these things were basically in their own little bubbles, operating separately. Omni-channel is the game changer. It's where all those different parts are woven together so they act like one single smart system. So when we boil it down, omni-channel integration is really a strategy. It's the plan for making your shopping experience feel totally connected and consistent, no matter how you choose to interact with a brand. It's all about building one holistic journey just for you, the customer. And this entire strategy is designed to serve us, the modern omni-channel shopper. We're the ones doing what they call showrooming. Checking out a TV in the store and then ordering it online for a better price. Or we do web rooming. We research everything online first, then go to the store to actually buy it. We've come to expect this kind of consistency, and we kind of demand it now. Okay, so how do we know all of this? How are experts mapping out these new behaviors? Well, this is where we get to peek behind the curtain a little bit and look at the actual research that's trying to decode our own buying habits. And the big question that all these researchers are trying to answer is pretty simple. What's actually pushing us to shop in this new, complicated way? What are the key things that are fundamentally changing our behavior as consumers? And it looks like the research is pointing to four main areas. First up, there's digital adoption, which is really just a fancy way of saying how comfortable you are using tech. Then you've got the marketing strategies that companies are using to get your attention. Of course, economic factors, your own financial situation play a huge part. And finally, there's one we might not think about much, government policy, the actual rules that shape the whole digital marketplace. What's really fascinating here is that this isn't just happening in one part of the world. It's a totally global shift. You've got studies from all over the place confirming the same basic ideas. In China, researchers found that social media has a massive impact on what people buy. In Malaysia, they showed that a flexible omni-channel experience keeps customers way more engaged. And in India, they proved that when you integrate all your channels well, your customers stay loyal. The evidence is just pouring in from everywhere. And one of the biggest theories that researchers are testing, a really core idea, is that our comfort level with technology, that digital adoption we talked about, might be the single biggest reason for this whole shift. In other words, the more tech-savvy we all become, the more we demand this new, super integrated way of shopping. Okay, so this is all pretty interesting, but why does any of it really matter? What's the big takeaway from all this research? Well, it turns out it has some huge implications for basically everyone involved in buying and selling things. Well, the insights that come from this kind of research really create a win-win-win situation. Businesses get a much clearer idea of how to adapt and succeed. We, as the consumers, get a way smoother, less annoying shopping experience. And policymakers, they get the data they need to help build a smarter, more efficient digital economy for everybody. And you can see how it all connects. The whole point of the research is to create a clear roadmap for businesses and real actionable insights for governments. And it all leads to one ultimate goal: just making the entire process of shopping better, more consistent, and more intuitive for all of us. So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Omnichannel doesn't just mean a business has a website, a store, and a TikTok account. It's not about being everywhere. It's about making the places they are feel like you're having one single, smart, and seamless conversation with them. And that brings us to a final question for you. Now that you've seen the strategy playing out behind the scenes, the deliberate effort to shape your shopping journey, do you think it'll change how you shop? Will you start to notice those little frustrations when a brand gets it wrong? Or maybe really appreciate the smooth experience when they get it right? It's something to think about next time you hit Add to Cart.